Hello and welcome to Champion Reviews. I'm Joe, here with me is my co-host Dan.
Hello and greetings.
Today we are reviewing part two of this story, which is called Enter the Punisher. And in this episode, Punisher decides he's going after Spider-Man because Morbius, while he turned back into a normal human at the end of the last episode, Morbius flees from the hospital to go after a skinny little restaurant employee. I'm noticing a trend. He's only targeting people who are out of shape or girls.
Because he essentially attacked a teenage boy there.
Now, he's thinking a bit like a psychopath, targeting those who aren't able to defend themselves, as well as, say, a Flash Thompson or whatever. Even if he has the power, he doesn't want to fight someone with the slightest amount of strength because he's a coward. And he's a monster by nature. And Punisher goes after Spider-Man because Chip lines up this target because J. Jonah Jameson decides to pin the entire thing on Spider-Man because, why not?
It's a hobby.
It's a dull Friday night, so why not? And Spider-Man, who in last episode took Crawford's cure because he panicked over some of the pain getting even worse, ends up accelerating his mutation and growing extra limbs. Now, Peter in this episode is struggling with so much agony and with his growing mutancy and he's getting a little lost about which arm to use because he's got 6 of them, that he just ends up screwing up, botching up continuously, and he puts himself continuously in danger to the Punisher and Morbius. Morbius gets a few good licks in right before Spider-Man tears apart his jetpack and webs him to a wall.
Punisher, yeah, Punisher's good.
Yeah, but the Punisher, as I said, is stuck to the wall and vows to hunt him down if it's the last thing he does. I just like the joke Spider-Man says. Oh boy, I'm so scared I might start chewing my fingernails. And boy, do I have fingernails. So, yeah, you've got Spider-Man who's trying to keep his sense of humor. He's trying to track down the madman Morbius. He takes his tape recorder and tries isolating each individual sound to locate where Morbius is, using basic geography of the area, math, because the recorder was left recording while Morbius was flying right before his confrontation with Peter. So, using that in reverse, he ends up tracking down Morbius's lab. Now, the neogenic recombinator had been stolen by Morbius, but Morbius's lab was apparently raided, and government property was restored. But of course, people think it was Spider-Man who probably put it there. So he's also got the theft of government property on his hands when it's Morbius being...
Morbius?
Yeah, typical idiot. And Morbius... Now, Felicia, because she didn't get any Morbius dick, is angry. Also because, Spider-Man a few episodes ago turned her down. So she's now peeved. She's not gotten any D lately, so... She really hates Spider-Man with all her heart and soul, as she puts it, for kidnapping Morbius. I know it sounds like I'm making her out to be really, really horny in the series, but even when she gets Morbius back at the end of the series, she's cheating on him with every guy she runs into, from Cap to Spider-Man to I think it was she just sleeps with just about anyone. Anyone will do.
I mean, I'd much prefer her going for Cap than Morbius.
Yeah, it is a step in the right direction.
Good,
to an extent. But at the same time, I can't help but think I wouldn't trust her with my life. I don't know why Spider-Man trusts her, because I trust Otto Octavius in this universe more, because she, just the fact that she wants D so badly is a little disconcerting. She's very horny. I'd be very concerned about that. Now, that said, I know I make her out to be really stupid, but she kind of is. But you also can follow some of the logic. She's very emotional. and hormonal, obviously. MJ and Aunt May are quite reasonably scared because, well, Peter screamed.
Went missing.
Went missing. MJ talked to him on the phone, asked him out, and flirted with him. And she called him out for avoiding her for weeks because she thinks something's up. So the thing is, you just have both of the number one ladies in Peter's life freaking out. Jonah just doesn't care about Peter, just sees us. Where's Parker? Is he getting photos? You have Robbie. No, I couldn't contact him. And Robbie actually sounds worried. Jonah, typical. Like, it's like with Jonah. Your photographer might be dead or something in all of this because the Punisher just came along and Peter goes missing. What would be your natural thought? My thought would be, oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Get that photographer out of there.
Like, call the National Guard. Did the Punisher kill Peter Parker? No, it's typical. I hate that kid. Like, dude, you know, like, he doesn't have a good bone in his body, but he's so Jonah Jameson. I love him for being such an ass. Robbie's, of course, a perfect guy because he's Robbie Robertson. Like,
Punisher shows how relentless he is.
Yeah, he's actually good in this episode. Him having missile launchers and other alternative tech like that makes sense because he's the Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine. Now, he also shows how great a shot he is because at the end of the episode, he actually hits Spider-Man with a direct hit of a missile that just... Because, okay, his first shot with one of these missiles levels an entire clock tower cathedral in one shot. And then he hits Spider-Man with that same blast, I think. And it knocks Spider-Man down into a warehouse because he was in the middle of moving. So, the momentum pushes him forward, crash lands, and Punisher storms the building ready to kill him with one of these missiles at all but point blank. Dude's nuts! But that's Punisher for you. Punisher, there's a reason he's such a feared supervillain in Marvel. And I do say supervillain because he's not a superhero. The dude is a mass-murdering, serial-killing thug. Now, in the animated series, they present him in a much better light, to an extent. The 2004 movie, I think, did the same. Yeah, it was 2004. It did the same. But Punisher in the comics is a pure monster.
Yes.
He's more evil than Dr. Otto Octavius, or I would even argue, he's more evil than Captain Cold.
He is unhinged, unstable, and although I use this term in a bad way, but he himself, in his head, is inconsistent. And that's not the writing's fault. That's his mental state.
Yeah, and in this series, though, they show how unstable he is throughout this episode, but in the next episode, they're going to show there's some complexity there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these writers were perfect, so...
Yeah, under some writers, Punisher had rubber bullets.
But only once in a while when he was pretending to play straight.
Mm-hmm.
And go straight and narrow. Pretending. I say pretend because he always reverted to a life of crime.
Yeah, he's like Bruce Banner that way.
Yeah, he just wants his pardon so that he gets the heroes off his back while the heat's hot. Then, once it tones down, he's back to killing.
Yeah.
That's essentially who and what he is.
And
now, I would even argue that he's probably worst in the comics than in the live action series than some of the villains we've seen. I'm just being honest. Although, what's funny is, I think Captain Marvel from the female one from Ms. Marvel from the 2016 or 17 film. She has a bigger body count than Punisher in some of his depictions, which is funny. I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard that she just gets a bigger body count than him. But that's scary because Punisher's got quite the body count. But he's fun in this series. Now, he chases Spider-Man down into that warehouse. And Spider-Man, of course, is mentally and physically stressed and at his breaking point. And was already struggling with pain and trying to ignore it just to save his life. And guess what? He transforms into the Man-Spider, which I know the comics didn't do it justice, but the cartoon was always perfect with the storyline. And I just wish it was stretched out a bit more.
And and the Punisher actually got scared, which is not easy to do.
No, he's a psycho.
It's like Crossbones. He goes into a fight like his life is cheap.
Now here, yeah, Frank, as he backs away looking in horror and terror, the man-spider looms over him. Oh man, I love the man-spider storyline. It is one of the best.
And the fact that in the next episode, he admits he was scared.
I stared the devil in the face and I blinked. But later he says, no, I wasn't. Now he admits in the moment he was scared, but then later he says no.
But even considering no, the fact that he admitted that even for a minute.
Yeah. Now, if you like this review,
I will rate it.
Oh yeah, we have to rate it first. I would rate this one a probably a 3.3.
3.
Why a 3?
The best part is yet to come.
Fair enough. I might adjust my score to 3.5 then. No, you know what? 3.3 is solid. I'm going to keep it there. So if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.